see the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. Little light is shining through the window, lets me know everything's alright. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
I know what you did, Alex. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what's weird? When I walked in here, there was a note at your door. There was like a letter.
Was there?
Yeah, and it just said Alex on the front. So I opened it up. I haven't shown it to you yet, but I opened it up.
Let's see what it says.
Well, okay, let's have a look. It says, I know what you did.
When?
It doesn't specify a date. There's actually a blank space where it says fill in date here, depending on what Alex did.
Well, shit, that could be any number of things.
But I know. I know what you did.
I've done some bad stuff in my life, Ben.
What's the worst thing you've ever done?
Oh, I'm not going to say it on the pod.
What do you think the worst thing you've ever done is? Somebody, you know what's so funny? Somebody asked me that once, and then they told me something really bad that they did, and I was like, oh, okay, that's bad, but it's not really your fault. Like, it was one of those things where people are, you know, when you're in an interview and someone's like, what's your worst quality? And then you tell them like, I'm just
perfectionist.
I'm too much of a perfectionist. Like, and then they were expecting me to share, and I was like, I didn't agree to that. Why would I tell you that?
Yeah,
we're not like, you know, like married or something. But seriously, what's the worst thing you've ever done? You ever killed somebody? I don't think so.
Not like directly.
Inadvertently?
Inadvertently, probably.
Through inaction?
Or through like season 2 of Breaking Bad. It's a really roundabout way where Walter White is responsible for like Jane's death, and then that the plane crash causes because her dad was an air traffic controller. He was too distracted that day.
Listen, we don't like TV here. We hate TV, in fact. But that was awfully fun, wasn't it? That was fun.
Yeah, I wasn't as... Listen, I grew to love Breaking Bad, but it was a slow burn for me.
Okay.
I was pretty like lukewarm on those first few seasons.
Yeah, well, it's all
but
dog
I've caused
shit compared to
inadverted
movie.
air crashes, I think, is the worst.
The franchisees? there are pilots who listen to us while they fly, and it's certainly caused a crash.
Yeah, Nathan Fielder's on our ass.
Yeah, seriously. He did call us up. Pretty much every Boeing accident can be related back to us. And I hate to stump for a giant company like Boeing that's clearly not doing their part in maintaining aircraft safely. But I think it's all traced back to us. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, remember Thomas Matthew Crooks? And you may think, who the hell is that? We've already forgotten about him. The Trump assassin. Right?
I've never forgotten.
You never forgot. That's right. Do you know why? Because the FBI called us up and they said, why are all these podcast episodes downloaded to his phone? And why has he included your podcast in his manifesto?
You pull out the black box out of a smoldering air crash site and you turn it on and you're going to find, Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension, or Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken.
Yeah.
Our other greatest hits.
Yeah, the greatest hits. Yeah. This is a quick one. Again, we're keeping it really quick. And if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you may remember there was another quick one quite some time ago, maybe even a year ago, where we had to rush out the door to go see a Kaveh screening.
Yes.
Well, I'm doing the same thing. You're not coming, right?
No, I'm not, unfortunately.
I'm doing the same thing again because the good folks at Bleeding Edge and the Paradise Theater are putting on the show about the show, the final season, or whatever thing he's cooked up. 3 hours of Kaveh. I was saying, like, this is my schedule today. I did some errands. I went to the Dufferin Mall. I have to, kind of wait until I need a certain number of things to justify going there. But
would you get a Switch 2?
I did not get a Switch 2. No.
I wish.
No. I got a kettle, like a stovetop kettle,
Very
because
good.
the electric kettle keeps getting infested with cockroaches because they love the electricity. I got a new French press because I broke mine. I got a compost bin. Really exciting stuff. Some shirts, some fat guy shirts, some shoes for work and for a wedding coming up. Yeah, really good. Great trip. And but then the rest of my day, I spent 2 hours in hell with Jurassic World Rebirth.
Okay.
And now I'm going to spend 3 hours with the devil, Kaveh Zahedi, the man himself.
Yeah. Yeah, that was wild when we met him. And
It was weird. Yeah. It was weird. I know if I get a chance to meet him again, maybe I'll ask for a picture. A picture I will regret taking immediately. A picture you will share online and you'll be like, I shouldn't put that up there. That's not right.
Yeah,
He's a bad man.
I'm sad I can't go. He was my most watched filmmaker of last year, according to Letterboxd.
Red flag. Huge red flag for anybody who knows.
I was telling Ruby, the GF, about him, and she wants to watch some of his movies.
Yeah,
so
huge. That's a huge red flag.
Lend me that box set you own.
That's awful. That's
it's a red flag that you have a Kaveh Zahedi box set
signed by the man himself.
Yeah, from the time we met him.
That's a red flag. Yeah, I hide it with my other shameful DVDs, various Woody Allen movies, and so on and so
all
forth.
Signed.
Yeah, all signed by the Woodman himself.
No, it just his Higher Education 2 was my favorite movie of last year, which
incredible.
Did it really even come out last year? Who knows?
No, not really, but an incredible film.
Yeah, incredible film.
Yeah, evil film.
Well, I mean, I'm excited to get a play-by-play rundown of each episode of the show about the show after you see it.
Oh, I tell you all about it. I'll reenact it in the spirit of his films. Please. I'll reenact it for you here.
I wonder how long that'll run you. The whole show.
At least 3 hours.
Awesome.
Yeah, minimum. All right, quickly. We're here to talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer. And what did we do last summer? Recording the podcast, I guess. What else? Did you do anything interesting last summer that I know about?
I ran over a fishmonger and was stalked by him a year to the day.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
You didn't say a word about that. How would I not know that?
I'm not proud about it.
You were on edge, I remember, last summer.
Yeah.
And I just thought you were just kind of anxious about, stuff in general.
Yeah, I tend to be, don't I?
Yeah, but now that I know you were sorry. Can I put I'm gonna do this.
Put it up there.
I'm gonna put that foot up right up there. Now that I know that you are being stalked by
a murderous
fishmonger with a hook. It explains a lot. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Hindsight 2020, right? Retrospect.
Did you, like Jennifer Love Hewitt, start the movie in baggy clothing to show that you're depressed and then progressively get into skimpier outfits until by the end you're wearing only a towel? This is an observation I read on Letterboxd. There's actually quite a lot of really good Letterboxd reviews for this movie.
That's really funny.
Because it's a pretty funny movie.
It is very funny.
Yeah, very nostalgic.
I had quite a bit of fun watching it.
Yeah, I had a fine time. This one I had definitely seen before. We'll get into it very quickly. Do you have any movies you'd like to talk about? I've got so many, but I'm just gonna have to save some for another time.
Yeah,
but I'll give you the hits.
The day I watched I Know What You Did Last Summer, it's been hot. It's been hot in Toronto.
It's hot. It's summertime.
Shoes are sticking to the sidewalk. They're melting. People are frying eggs.
Yeah, sacks sticking to the inner thigh.
Yes. I went over to a friend of the pod, Sam's house, because his building has
so-called.
His building has a pool. So we splish-splashed around a bit.
That's nice.
Actually ran into other friend of the pod, Devin, and your director on the way there.
No way. He was over at Sam's apartment?
No, he was going to Riverdale Park.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, probably catch the sunset. It's a good sunset out there.
Great spot.
But yeah, we splish-splashed in his pool. We watched I Know What You Did Last Summer. And, blessed is he has a Shudder subscription, a free trial to Shudder. Nice. So we're like, let's put on like a hokey horror film.
Yeah.
And we put on, what was it called? Would You Rather?
Oh, yeah. So I like to put on hokey horror movies out of boredom or in the background.
Totally.
And that's one that's come up a couple times where I thought, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll do that, but I haven't. What, is it any good?
You should watch it.
Is it funny?
It's kind of funny in some ways. It's got a crazy cast. It's got Rob Wells, Ricky from Trailer Park Boys. It's got the bandit from, I believe it was Home Alone Holiday Heist. The guy with the big like afro.
Oh yeah, okay.
Sasha Grey.
Okay, all right. I'm familiar with her work.
Yeah, Ben's ears perked up at the sound of Sasha Grey.
Yeah. By which, of course, I'm referring to Steven Soderbergh's The Girlfriend Experience.
Of course, yeah. What else has she done?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as far as I know.
Yeah, and some other a few other hokey people like that. Actually, the main antagonist, I think I looked him up, and he's going to appear in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Can't wait.
Which is very funny.
Can't wait.
But it's quite mean-spirited, which I guess like I kind of appreciated. It's kind of like unapologetically kind of cruel and
gory?
Torture porn-esque. Yeah, in some instances. In other instances, it kind of like pulls its punches.
Yeah.
Oh, John Hurd is in it from Home Alone fame and Chilly Scenes of Winter. Really? Yeah.
Must have been one of his last movies.
They had him for a day.
Okay. Yeah.
But the acting kind of across the board is pretty rough. It's pretty rough. You can kind of tell most of it takes place like in this parlor room where this deadly game of Would You Rather is played. Right. And that's kind of where like all the effort went. The rest of it feels kind of shoddy in like a maybe not so charming way. Yeah. And the whole movie is kind of moot because I've already, come up with the most nefarious and disturbing Would You Rather of all time long before I saw this movie.
What is it?
Would you rather have sex with your dad or kill him?
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, oh, geez. Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean, you'd kill your dad.
Well, we're so estranged as it is.
That's kind of what I thought. Yeah. See, I love my dad.
Yeah, I know it's a good one, right?
But I don't. Do I love him in that way? Not really. That is a good one.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Twisted, right?
I think if you have a broader view of sex rather than the very heteronormative, penetrative sort of definition, I think I could probably figure something out. I could probably suck him off or something. Yeah. I really hope he doesn't listen to this. Every now and again he listens to he'll be like, oh, listen to this or that.
No, Ben.
I really hope he doesn't listen to this one.
He gives you like a Hank Hill. Bah!
Well, I mean, yeah, that boy ain't right. But I do think he'd appreciate that I decided not to kill him. We'll see.
That's good.
Yeah. Anything else? Moving on.
No, that's about it.
All right.
It's like not a great movie, but I'd love to get like your opinion and kind of poke fun at it with you because it's a bit of a schlock fest.
Maybe I will watch it sometime.
Very good.
Okay. Are you ready for this fucking shit? Oh my God.
Lay it on me.
I got 3 Letterboxd pages full of stuff.
Holy shit.
I will just say, listen, let's just run them through. Okay. Cause I'm active. It's summer. I'm feeling good. I'm not smoking weed. I'm trying to be healthy. And in some cases that increases my movie consumption. In some cases, it decreases it. But I'm watching movies at work, like bringing the iPad, that sort of thing, right? Mm-hmm. Odds Against Tomorrow, Summertime, People on a Sunday, Ikari XB1, Moi Noir, Pale Flower, The Wild Child. These are all great movies.
Awesome.
These are all great movies. These are some of these are classics. Most of these are capital C, capital L, capital A, capital ass, capital ICS.
That's where we leave it.
Summertime out of those I probably enjoy the most. Because listen, it's summertime, baby. And Katharine Hepburn goes to Italy and she says, arrivederci. That's not how she sounds. I've made her sound like Jimmy Stewart. I can't do a Katharine Hepburn, but you know how she sounds. Yeah. Everybody knows how she sounds. And it's funny to hear her say Italian things. And to fall in love.
Aww.
A fleeting love. It's a David Lean movie. It's one of his like Brief Encounter, Passionate Friends, stuff like that. Mm. It's good. Oh, Reanimator. I saw that again. The Clan of the Cave Bear. Terrible. Terrible. I don't know what I was doing with that. In the 80s, they made a bunch of like caveman movies. Okay. Like Quest for Fire, and there's one like called The Iceman, and then this Clan of the Cave Bear. And Quest for Fire, I remember really liking when I was younger. I don't know if it holds up or whatever, but I think we're overdue for more caveman movies. I think that's interesting. Not a 10,000 BC Roland Emmerich sort of thing. No. I mean like a realistic sort of like movie about Neanderthals or early Homo sapiens or something.
I would love to watch that.
Badlands, watch it again. Great. Terrence Malick.
You're also on a Malick kick.
Watch it again. Oh, well, I'm going to go see the New World extended edition at the Review Cinema the day before, the afternoon before seeing Neil Young. That's going to be a huge day.
How long is the extended edition?
It's 3 hours long. Nice. Yeah. You should come.
Maybe.
Yeah, think about it. Have you ever seen it, The New World?
No, I haven't.
It's really good.
Wow.
I've only seen the theatrical version, and I really liked it. And apparently this one is way better. So, Wild at Heart again is great. The Breaking Point, Michael Curtiz, fantastic. Post Casablanca film from him, very, very good. Welcome to the Terror Dome, Big recommendation on the Criterion Channel. Maybe not like, well, as fully restored as maybe it could be. I don't know though. Or maybe it just looks like that. Anyway, really interesting movie. Oh, geez. Zabriskie Point, Michelangelo Antonioni's American movie.
Another Point movie.
Out of all these, I really like Zabriskie Point.
Really?
Yeah, it came out and everybody fucking hated it in the States, and I can totally see why. But I think it's really, really good. I watched 2 Jafar Panahi movies, or early, like his first 2 movies, The White Balloon and The Mirror. Both fantastic. Douglas Sirk, The Tarnished Angels, Louis Malle, Elevator to the Gallows. I'm watching classics. I'm crushing these classics.
You are, yeah.
Like it's my job. and in a sense it is my job because I come on the podcast and I tell you to watch them. But in this case, in this specific episode, I'm not really telling you anything about them except that they're good. All these things I mentioned are good. Except Clan of the Cave Bear. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. And then a new release, the movie on the tip of everyone's tongue, Superman.
Oh,
Superman. I'll take the soup.
JG's Superman.
I'm sorry, I don't know if you actually heard. I don't know if you heard my joke. I'll try it again. Superman. I'll take the soup.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
Yeah, it's good. That's that the type of humor that James Gunn is bringing to Superman?
I'm not sure you really appreciated the joke. I'm going to say it one more time.
Superman.
I'll take the soup.
You prefer soup over man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Soup over man.
Yeah.
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 Charles Melton. Somebody get that motherfucker in the fridge. Yeah. I'm not sure you really appreciate it.
Is that the type of humor James Gunn is bringing to the DCEU?
No. So okay, so I didn't like the movie. I saw it on a date. Tito and I went to go see it, and we both didn't like it. I looked over at her and she was like physically in pain, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I was for an hour after I was just apologizing. I'm so sorry. I will never do this again. The rest of the date was great, but. We went on a whim. I don't know. There were better movies playing, but not really that many options. What am I going to go to Jurassic Park fucking Afterbirth, which I did see. Maybe we'll talk about that later. Maybe.
Break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah. Wee woo. Yeah, Superman. I might have been a little hard on it just because when you go with someone and they don't like it and then you don't like it and we're talking about how shitty it was after.
You're resentful.
Yeah, you feel resentful. You feel like, this was such a mistake. Why do we even waste our time and money?
You could also kind of bond over.
That's true. That's true. But I'm thinking about it more, and I still don't really like it. But I don't think it's a bad movie for that type of movie. And clearly, it's doing really well, and people seem to really like it, including people who don't normally like comic book movies. So, as far as the humor goes, here's the thing, right? A lot of the Marvel humor got to quippy, kind of that just happened sort of stuff, right? And James Gunn, in the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, it has a bit of that, but it's he's got a better sense of humor than that.
Sure.
But the sense of humor is very Gen X, kind of like the Gen X version of millennial epic bacon humor, a little bit, I guess.
That's a great description. Yeah.
And the reason I kind of wanted to see it is because I thought it looked fun. And I don't really like the Zack Snyder Man of Steel type movies because they're so dour and because they're kind of fascist and whatever. And then I was watching this one and I was like, maybe I prefer the dour fascist movie compared to whatever the hell this is.
It's a lot more light, right?
Yeah, it's light, it's fun, it's cute and whatever. But
the Holtmeister's in it.
The who?
Nicholas Hoult.
Oh, Holtmeister.
We love Holt.
Yeah, Nicholas Holt's fine. Everyone in it is David Cornsweet. David Cornsweet is fine. He's handsome and he looks the part and he's charming, and Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane is good, and Skylar Gisondo, Jimmy Olsen is funny, and Holt is good. Yeah, Holt is very good in it. Everyone's good in it. It's really not terrible, I don't think, but it's just the kind of thing that it's just kind of movie that I don't really like, and I mean obviously, duh, because it's some big multi-million-dollar tentpole superhero movie, and I don't really I see maybe one of those a year, and sometimes I see it. Last year, and it's Deadpool and Wolverine, and it's this is actual poison. And then other times I see it, it's like, what else did Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness because of Sam Raimi. And I thought, okay, there's some things to like about this, but it's also, it's all the same shit, right?
Yeah.
And in this case, like, there's lots to like about it, I think, but there's some stuff in it that I just felt was like sort of distasteful. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to talk about because there is a geopolitical like backdrop to this where that is sort of like half Israel Palestine, half like Russia Ukraine sort of thing, with the nation of Baravia, which has existed in DC Comics for years, like even before Israel existed, Baravia existed, and the nation of, oh God, what's it called, Jaranpur or something, right? It's basically like a kind of
thinly veiled
sort of conflict that is happening in the background that Superman is involved in and Luthor is involved in supporting and so on, and it's not that it's, in one sense it is nice to see a big budget blockbuster, like probably one of the most well-performing movies of the year, Hollywood product, that has this kind of like anti-Israeli attitude, or at least anti genocidal like nation attitude, whether you want to read it as Russia or Israel or something in between. And it sort of marks a bit of a sea change in a way of like how, because this is like a pretty mainstream, like lived out movie, right?
Yeah,
like,
it seems huge.
Yeah. And so it is, in some sense, it's kind of like gratifying to see that. It's nice when the Hawk Girl catches Benjamin Netanyahu in her talons and drops him and he splats like a pancake. Like those are it. Those images maybe fill us with glee, but they also just made me feel
it's
kind
weird.
of empty and kind of like queasy.
Yeah.
Not to say that you can't evoke real world conflict in your superhero movies. Of course you can. I think some of the stuff that has aged the best from something like The Dark Knight is some of that like Patriot Act sort of stuff, where it's like Batman is going to use 9/11 technology to hunt us all down or whatever.
Yeah.
But then he'll destroy it, of course.
He's a good guy.
He's a good guy. But I don't know. In this, it just felt like a little bit self-serving. I don't know, or self-congratulatory. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it.
I could for sure see that.
Do you know what I mean? Because it doesn't affect anybody's. It doesn't affect any real world, right? Nothing changes. The only thing that changes or is affected is, James Gunn and the box office receipts. I don't think anyone's going to be protesting. I don't think any pro-Israeli or Zionist protests are going to be happening picketing Superman.
Probably not.
Probably not. But it's just this kind of, it's just weird. It just made me feel weird because it is and it isn't, and it clearly is, but also there's enough plausible deniability to be like it's just comic book stuff. But I don't know. It's just kind of gross. I don't know. Whatever. Like,
sounds like it.
And it seems like a lot of the discourse around it is like, I can't believe the Superman is like anti-Israel. Like, this is crazy. And it's like, well, like the movie is not pro or anti this or that. The movie is pro making a bajillion dollars.
Yeah.
It's pro itself making a bajillion dollars.
It's pro desperately trying to do something with the DCEU.
Sure. And though it's interesting that in its pro itselfness, for lack of more interesting way of saying something like that, in its own self-interests, it's interesting that that's the angle it takes. And I do think that sort of signals a bit of a change in like whatever mainstream liberal ideology a little bit, even though we are constantly faced by whatever Democrats in the States or people, or even people on the so-called center left or whatever here, still after years of like just horror, still supporting Israel tacitly or very explicitly. It does sort of signal a bit of a change, at least in like terms of what you can glean from like a mainstream blockbuster. What does that really mean? I don't know. Maybe nothing.
Maybe.
But I don't know. The whole thing just felt like fucking dumb to me.
Sure.
And then aside from that, because I'm not trying to make it into some moral issue or something. Aside from that, the main reason I don't like it is just because like that sense of humor is not really my sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't laugh. I laughed at one joke that I thought was actually really funny, and the rest of it I was just like, these are just dead on arrival, like all these jokes. But I don't know, other people seem to like it, and whatever.
Not enough poo and fart jokes for your tastes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Superman doesn't have a super poo that's like a really long poo or something.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
The joke practically writes itself.
I know. I already came up with it. Anyway.
All right, should we talk about I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yeah, like for like 10 minutes. I'm sorry it's going to be so short. I got to go see my good friend Kavizadi again.
It'll pay off next episode where we have very little to talk about. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yes,
so
and then the direct to DVD sequel, I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer.
You could give us the show about the show rundown, the pod about the pod, if you will.
Of course.
That episode. Yeah. So we've got I Know We Did Last Summer, 1997 slasher directed by Jim Gillespie.
Jim Gillespie, yeah. Detox, I remember he made with Sylvester Stallone. I don't think I've seen any of his other movies. But of course, this is a script written by Kevin Williamson, who, along with Wes Craven in the Scream series, like kind of revitalized like the slasher genre in the 90s with the self-aware meta sort of scripts. And it's funny that we're doing this series before Scream, because Scream came first, and Scream is much better. Although now they've made, I don't know how many millions of, there's like 6
there's
of
a lot
them
of
now.
them.
Yeah, whatever. The new ones, whatever. But yeah, this one almost feels like they were like, okay, Scream is hot. Kevin baby, Williamson, you gotta give us the next thing. And he's like fishes it out of the bottom of his drawer, you know what I mean? And it's like, here's a script I wrote. And it's based on a book from the 70s, like a young adult book that I'm sure is pretty good. And I like the general idea of it, right? Like that sort of like, haunted by the guilt of something that something awful that you did and that you have to hide and try to move on from, but you can't. This movie is like very much in that vein of those 90s Scream offshoots. I mean, it's the closest probably to that because at least it's written by the same guy. Yeah. But like urban legend, like all that, and like any poster that has the title and then it's just a bunch of faces and they're all sort of in some sort of triangle formation. There's like a million of those. Blue tinted. Yeah, blue tinted or whatever it is. And as far as those go, I thought this is pretty okay. It's funny.
It was funny. It was fun.
It's not particularly violent either.
No, it's not.
It's almost a PG-13.
And it kind of takes its time to get going too, which I appreciated. There's no real big opening murder sequence. It kind of takes its time to establish the conceit, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. A bunch of teens partying in North Carolina. Yeah. On last day of school or whatever, run over a guy.
Bright futures ahead of them. They spend the time building it up, like...
One's the fish queen.
One is the homecoming fish queen.
Geller is the fish queen.
As Helen Shivers, one of the most tragic characters in cinema history.
Truly.
Helen Shivers, when they're interviewing her for her fish queen speech... She's saying, I'm moving to New York and I'm going to be a serious actress and I'm going to change the world with my art. And
you and me both, sister.
I don't want to get too ahead of, but she doesn't make it.
No.
And it's tragic.
Yeah.
The world needs more Helen Shiverses.
Amen.
And the only Helen Shivers was taken too soon.
Entirely too soon.
And I'm really quite... It was gutting. Get it?
I see what you did there.
Fish.
Pun intended.
Fish. We have Freddie Prinze Jr.
We have Fishy Fish Jr.
We have Fishy Fish Jr. Freddie Prinze Jr., who plays a fisherman, which is not believable. He could, not that he couldn't do it, but he just looks like a beautiful Ken doll the whole time.
No, there's a moment
he's
where,
working on a boat.
Yeah,
yeah, get off the fucking boat, Freddie.
Where you see him for the first time like the summer after, and like he just steps off of like a dock, and he's got like perfectly gelled spikes.
Yeah.
And Sam and I had a good laugh at that. Like this guy's never touched a fish in his life.
I don't
this guy's
think
never scaled a fish.
I think that was genuinely the first time he'd ever stepped on a boat.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have Ryan Philippe, Way of the Gun himself.
They're playing kind of like a jock. Like the big rich football jock guy.
Yeah, kind of a jerky jockey, drinking, driving kind of guy.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's like partying out the sunroof, which is why they run over the dude in the first place. Kinda.
Yeah. Oh, did we mention Sarah Michelle Gellar plays Helen Shivers?
Yes.
Helen Shivers.
And you have Jennifer Love
soon.
Hewitt as
Julie.
Julie.
I think her name's Julie.
Shout out to Julie Fish.
Julie Fish. Julie Fishman. So, the kind of final couple end up being Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. And Ryan Philippe and Helen Shivers don't make it. I'm just spoiling it for you right now. Somebody else who doesn't make it, Johnny Galecki.
Big Bang, Mr. Big Bang himself.
Yes. Pre the Big Bang Theory, pre never having to work again in his entire life because he made $1 bajillion from the Big Bang Theory.
God.
He plays a kind of creepy, weird guy who they don't like.
Yeah.
Who comes across them after they've done after they've run over the guy, but isn't really involved. And then for some reason, a year later, when the fisherman they killed is wreaking vengeance, he kills him first. And he didn't really do anything aside from just being like having bad vibes.
That I've seen this movie before, but I must have been like so young when I saw it, and I really didn't remember much outside of like kind of the main conceit of it.
Same.
But that shot of, I didn't realize it was going to be Johnny Galecki, but that shot of him getting like the hook through the mouth and then being dragged across.
Yeah, and the blood on the table.
That stuck out in my mind.
I remember that
as did
too.
The ending in the showers.
Yes, right.
But it was funny to see that like iconic kill in my head was Johnny Galecki.
This whole time.
God bless him.
That's the same thing that happened to his character on Big Bang Theory in the last episode.
Yeah, Sheldon does it.
Sheldon kills him. He goes, Bazinga.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Like it came after Scream, but it almost like feels like one of the movies that like Scream was like parodying or something. It's still a bit self-aware because they talk about like urban legends within it, which is really weird. When they talk about like the urban legend with the guy with like, and then the hook was on the outside of the car. Like I was like, man, these movies were all just kind of like cannibalizing each other for like any kind of like novel slasher idea.
Right. Because I mean, I guess partly that there's a source material for it, and then the script is pretty straightforward as far as something like Scream goes. For sure. It's not nearly as self-aware or meta or funny as those movies, but the cast is actually, I think, pretty good. Possibly the strongest part about it. Ryan Philippe, I don't know, whatever. Yeah. but I think and Freddie Prinze Jr., whatever. The two kind of wet blankets. Johnny Galecki, on the other hand. No, but Sarah Michelle Gellar and Jennifer Love Hewitt, I think, are actually pretty good in it. There's a scene. This movie's not very scary, obviously, either. But there's a scene where Sarah Michelle Gellar, the tragic character of Helen Shivers. I can't get over it. When we come to a year later, Jennifer Love Hewitt has been to university, but she's clearly had a rough year.
She's like goth.
Yeah.
She's a bit disheveled.
Yeah, she's like me after first year of Queens, where except I got fat. But she's wearing sweatpants and she's like, I'm not as beautiful. I'm so stressed out. My life is terrible. And then as the movie goes on, she becomes more and more beautiful, as if the thrill of being hunted, is like reinvigorating her. It's actually kind of strange in that way.
It is strange in that way.
But Helen Shivers, the late great Helen Shivers, who died before she could act in the modern masterpiece that would have saved the world. She went to New York and she couldn't cut it as an actress. Is it possible that all of their dreams didn't happen because they were haunted by this guilt? Yes, I think so. I think she couldn't make it, probably because she was worried about the murder that she had done, the manslaughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't driving, so really Helen Shivers is pretty innocent. But there's a scene where it's the night before the whatever fish parade that this fucking shitty fishing town has, and she's the outgoing homecoming queen, and she has to ride in the float and pass over the ceremonial crown to the new queen. And she wakes up, and she's been combing her hair the whole movie, right? And her sister who like also gets horribly killed relatively innocently. I guess she was snooty. Her crime is she was being snooty.
Can't be snooty out
Can't
here
be
in the
snooty.
streets.
Helen Shivers wakes up and her hair is all falling out.
Yeah.
And someone has written like, I still know on the mirror in like lipstick. And, I never really watched Buffy that much. And obviously she's great in that. It's an iconic role, right? But that scene is like pretty distressing. Like she's really genuinely upset. And you really feel for her, I think, in it. Maybe this is just because I'm an actor too. I'm kind of the Helen Shivers of Toronto.
People say this.
Yeah.
There were a lot of moments in this that kind of like that I'd forgotten were from I Know You Did Last Summer, because they'd been like lampooned elsewhere. And it kind of like one example reminded me of how like funny Anna Faris is in Scary Movie, because she's like pulling a lot from like these performances as well.
Definitely.
And like what are you waiting for? Like what are you waiting? Like those moments. And I was like, oh yeah, like that's from this and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, the two female leads, the scream queens, if you will.
Yes.
I think deliver and like do their job really well and have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. There are moments where Jennifer Love Hewitt is like being chased or menaced or whatever, and her expressions of like distress and fear are very genuine. Like she's a good actress. Yeah. I
like the bits where they go to the like daughter's house.
Yes. And the late great Anne Heche.
Yes. And
the late great
there's some like creepy little like tension there and moments, and it's like
that stuff is funny too, because I guess she's kind of like a backwoods gal, like she's living by herself, and like she's got a bunch of dead animals hanging all over the place, and she's talking like she's like, why'd you come here, why'd you kill my brother, and like all that. I don't know, that stuff's really goofy.
And they kind of like set it up so you're like meant to kind of think that maybe Freddie Prinze Jr. is like the killer or something.
At some point, they try to red herring you that it's all Freddie Prinze Jr.'s fault.
Mm-hmm. But it's all just, it's like you said, it's pretty straightforward, but it's good fun. And it has like a bit of a fun little atmosphere, this, it's almost like Lovecraftian with like, a seaside
with all
fishing, with all the fish and all the like nautical crime and whatnot. Like
there's some funny bits to that, like just taking advantage of that atmosphere and that location and whatever. Like when she's riding the float and they're like all looking out for the guy in the old rain slicker, like the Nor'wester, right?
Yeah.
And then it's a fishing village, so I guess everyone's wearing
There's a bunch of like legitimate fishermen.
Yeah. But it's also like, well, they don't wear it when they're not working.
Yeah, it's kind of
so they're all
weird,
out.
yeah.
It's like like I came to watch the homecoming parade because I'm a fucking pervert, and I wore my slicker because I can fucking jerk off underneath it. They're all but it's like move. They're just all these fishermen walking around in slickers. It's like, dude, it's got to be hot in that. Take it off. You're not out on the sea.
I get hot in like a regular like raincoat or anorak.
I'm sweating right now. Well, this is a very temperate, controlled kind of, but I'm dripping.
Yeah.
We
run hot.
You're gonna have to throw this chair out.
Oh no, not another one.
Sorry, buddy.
And then the moment where like he's playing mind games with her and sticks Johnny Galecki in the trunk of a car with a bunch of crabs, and then she's like, "Come on out!" Like Johnny Galecki's out here in my trunk with a bunch of crabs, and they're all gone. Like,
yeah,
how?
How? I know, because this you maybe are set up to believe there's some supernatural element, maybe, but I guess in the text of the film, like, no, it's the guy that they killed is a guy who killed another guy who was about to kill himself. I don't know, it's convoluted, it doesn't matter. And they hit him and he was still alive, and then they threw him in the ocean and they thought he drowned, but I guess he didn't. And
he's doing this all for revenge.
Yeah.
And he's
a real guy.
A lot of other people like Johnny Galecki.
He kills a cop.
He kills the woman who works with Helen Shivers in the costume store. Her sister, right?
Yeah. Her snooty sister.
It's just like They just happen to, unfortunately, hit a really bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like an evil guy who's just ready to be a serial killer.
Yeah, who uses like a fishing hook. Yeah.
As you would, I guess,
in the town.
He's a fisherman.
And they confront him and they, he goes up in the frickin', he gets caught in a rope and it cuts off his hand. Yeah. That's probably the most violent part in the whole thing. I mean, there's some stabbings and so on, but...
He kind of has like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, but on a boat, because they're going through his she's going through his boat, and she runs into like ice boxes full of like her friends and stuff. It's very funny.
They do the classic, like maybe Halloween is the first movie to do that, where you go through the house and it's like every closet there's one of your friends who's been killed earlier in the film, but it's on a boat. So it's a pretty contained space, and they're all on ice, which is very thoughtful, as the fish would be.
Preserve the bodies. Should we rate this puppy?
Well, I mean, let me think. The ending, it has this kind of like setup for another movie, right? And then there is one where she's back at college and she's happy again, and she's in the shower and she sees someone has written steam on the thing, like, I still know. And then, there's a big CGI, like he jumps out at you. Is that supposed to be real or in her head? We don't know.
I'm guessing we're going to find out hopefully immediately at the start of the next movie.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm trying to think what else there is to say about it. Really not much, right? Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's not bad. No. And one thing, if
it made a ton of money.
Oh yeah, for sure. If you look at Letterboxd too, you see a couple people being like, "Oh, it's not the greatest movie, but it looks really good too." Like, and it's not that it has any particular like style over this or that. It's just that it's a real movie from the 90s that had money behind it, that was shot on film and shot competently and shot in the studio system. And it's just funny that any old disposable like thriller or slasher or whatever, or back then, just like looks like a real movie. And now they all look like fucking like Netflix, whatever.
They had some effort put into them, some elbow grease,
Absolutely.
You had to pull on your galoshes and kind of...
I've got a Kevin Williamson question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the other movie he wrote that he directed as well, Teaching Mrs. Tingle?
Oh my God, have I seen that?
Have you seen that?
I don't know. I feel like I might have seen that on TV at one point when I was
possibly,
a teen.
I have never seen it, but I'm going to commit on the podcast. I'm going to say, even though he's not involved in the rest of these movies, I'm going to watch it just because I'm curious, because he was really on to something there in the 90s. I don't know if he's really done a whole lot since. From what I understand is this one, and the one that he directed, like, is bad and is nasty. And I'm curious. I'm very curious to see that. Yeah, I think Scream is like a really good classic movie that's actually some sort of masterpiece. And I think largely that's the involvement of Wes Craven. This is not that, but it's pretty fun, right? Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'd rate it.
If you were going to fill a trunk in with Johnny Galecki and a bunch of crabs, how many crabs out of 100 would you stick in the trunk with?
That's right. Well, I would love to fill the trunk up with as many crabs as possible.
Fair enough, yeah.
To dispose of that awful corpse of Johnny Galecki, the stinking, rotted, bloated corpse of Galecki. But realistically, I could probably give it like 60 crabs or maybe more.
Yeah.
Maybe even 70 crabs. I don't know.
60 to 70 crabs.
60 to 70 crabs, depending on how big the trunk is.
Yeah, how you feeling, like,
Yeah, but that's generous,
It is generous. 70 crabs is, I think, the maximum.
That's a lot of crabs.
But I feel like you could attain
50 to 60 crabs.
60 to 70 crabs.
Okay.
And like if you're watching it with pals, you're all having like a bit of a laugh and stuff.
That's what it's for.
I think it's a 70 crab movie.
That's what it's for. Yeah, I watched it alone in stone cold silence. Before having to go to work.
Oh man. That's life, ain't it?
That's life, baby. Well, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is a movie that they made after this one, which makes sense. Even though, is it the last summer anymore? No, it's several summers ago.
I Still Know What You Did 2 summers ago.
I Still Know What You Did 2 to 3 summers ago.
Yeah.
60 to 70 crabs.
Yep.
And I don't think I've ever seen this one. It's possible I have, but I don't think so. When I was younger, my friends and I got really into Scream, and we were watching like the Scream movies. Like I'm talking like preteen, early teens, right? And they were pretty violent for us at the time. You know, we were like, whoa. And then we definitely watched this one together, but I don't think we followed through with the rest of the series. So it's all new territory. Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr. are back, joined by, I believe, Brandy, the mononymously named Brandy.
No way.
And Mekhi Phifer.
No way.
Yeah. So we'll see. I don't know. Is it
more 90s
be,
heavyweights?
Yeah, it's definitely. Is it going to be clever? Is it going to be as good as this? I'm sure. No, I'm sure it's not as good.
Most likely not.
Because it's what is this series ripe with sequels? Because the Scream 2, Scream 3, like Scream 2 is good.
Scream 3 has Kevin Smith.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But you know, they have, because of their meta nature, they can the sequels can be stand-ups of themselves and sequelitis and so on and so forth.
These might just suffer from
this is probably just going to be the same thing.
Diminishing returns, kind of like the Naked Gun.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Okay, well, we'll be back next week with I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
We haven't done it in a while, but it's pretty clear that this franchise, what does this new franchise smell like? It would smell like fish, crabs, and possibly Old Bay seasoning.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Like real craw boil.
Yeah. This is what it smells like. You know when you go to the fish boil restaurant, you know, you get a nice boil, and they take the bag
seafood,
and they dump it all on the table.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yum, 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 right? But then depending on the restaurant you go to, you can ask to keep the bag. You can say, can I have that plastic bag? And they'll say, why? And you'll say, oh, no, I just use it for cooking or something, right? You can lie to them, right? They don't know. And you take the bag, you take it back home, and you put the bag over your head.
To asphyxiate yourself. To
asphyxiate yourself, not to death, just a little bit while you jerk off.
For pleasure.
And
it kind of smells like...
Oh, it reeks. Yeah. It doesn't kind of smell like anything. It reeks of fish boil.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that gets you off.
Yeah, it gets you off. Oh, yeah, it gets you off. Oh, yeah. It's summer.
Gets you off.
It's a summertime.
And the feeling is right.
Anyway, I'm going to go watch 3 hours of Covey's Ahead. I guess.
Tell him I said hi.
Of course I will.
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish, 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 fish.
Well, Bob,
fish,
at summer's end, I
fish,
plan to move to New York City, where I'll pursue a career as a serious actress. It's my goal to entertain the world through artistic expression. Through art, I shall serve my country.